Good morning, YouTube. The Cybertruck is in the news for all the wrong reasons. The first one's kind of rough, so...
Has it ever been in the news for, like, a good reason?
I don't know. You're right. But, yeah, the first one, probably the first confirmed death, accident death from a Cybertruck and going at a high rate of speed into a concrete culvert.
Right.
Burst into flames and... yeah, well, you can see what's left of it. So
literally the worst way to die in a car accident. I mean, any way is obviously terrible,
right.
But this is like nightmare fuel on top of nightmare fuel.
Right.
Right here.
So any car that crashes like that would probably burst into flames. You know, the Porsche Carrera GT is a famous one with Paul Walker where that happened. But with electric cars, they burn a lot brighter and harder. And this one, well, there was no identifying the person, not just from the body, but all the VINs melted on the car, the license plate melted, so they couldn't really immediately identify the person. They'll have to wait until someone pops up missing and they own a Cybertruck. So,
what are they going to put like a black box into Cybertrucks now because that's how dangerous they are?
Well, I mean, anybody could operate that thing and do some really, really stupid, dangerous stuff because it is so powerful and so heavy.
And fast.
My concern is...
Really
like a crowd of people and somebody confusing the gas for the brake, and they're so powerful, like and it's 7,000 pounds, and the way it's shaped as far as like being a guillotine and everything, Final Destination style,
In Europe, you can't even drive them because they're so dangerous for pedestrians.
Right. So, but Cybertrucks overall, if this is the first confirmed death, that is pretty good for a Cybertruck because Elon did say the thing's so safe that if you get in an accident with someone else, you will win because it is very well built in that sense as far as crash safety. And Tesla is known for being extremely, extremely safe cars. There was like that family that drove off a cliff. Maybe the husband did it by accident or probably not with his family, but like off a sheer cliff in Northern California, and they all survived.
Seriously?
So,
wait.
Yeah, they drove it off a cliff in Northern California, like Highway 1 on a vacation, I think, and survived. So Tesla's overall very, very safe cars. But the Cybertruck has had plenty of issues that I experienced firsthand before I got it. And then, well, the ultimate, I guess, car YouTube torture tester has finally got a hold of one.
Oh, yeah.
Cody Detweiler, Whistlin Diesel, has posted the Cybertruck video to end all Cybertruck videos. I got, I think, 2 million views out of my best Cybertruck video, so which was really good. But he got 10 million views on his first one within 48 hours, and it is still climbing.
It's epic. That's like the standard. That should be the new standard of testing vehicles.
Right.
Just through his channel.
Send every single new car to Cody to see what will go wrong.
Well, it's so good because he's so authentic. I mean, he jokes around a lot. So when he did that test to see if like his fingers would get cut like in the frunk, and he's like kind of screaming about that it hurts, you're not for sure if he's actually in pain because he jokes around so much, but it looked like it really got him.
I talked about it, but never in a million years would I, talk about it and then go and do it. And he put his fist in there and let the Cybertruck try and lop his fingers off. Like, that's a different kind of crazy that I am just not.
It's just the extra crazy, but it was weird. Like you put like a glass, I don't know what it was, a glass bottle or something, and it would just pop, and the glass would shred all over, and it's just not terrifying, but it is a little unnerving that would happen.
Right, that was one of the issues with the Tesla that was well documented. Mine was delayed delivery because of the accelerator sticking issue that was fixed with a single rivet, and Cody proved that accelerator pedal is. It's junk.
Yeah.
So, the gasoline pedal in the F-150, which you compared it to an F-150 that has, a standard accelerator pedal that's, made of steel. It's a cast steel piece that you could beat on, wiggle and all that stuff, and it won't fall apart. This one is more like in a traditional car, and it's plastic, and it's just, connected to the floor, and definitely, totally by wire and everything, and it takes nothing for that to break apart.
But did his have the rivet in it? I don't think so. It did. Okay.
No, I don't think so. But it was a really good idea, I think, to compare it to the standard fare F-150 to see how it would compare.
Yeah.
And overall, the Cybertruck is so superior in every single way when it came to just raw performance and ability. And once he got the lockers installed, which I never was able to get mine installed because I sold it before it exists, a software update gives you locking differentials.
Which is crazy because you had to wait for it to download to get it. Which seems a little nerve-wracking.
Right. So, in all of those kind of ways, and going on the culverts and bouncing around, like the F-150 couldn't even make it over the first one. The Cybertruck was able to do it.
Well, it
all
seemed
day
like
long.
it was painful to go in the F-150, where the Cybertruck was a little smoother, surprisingly.
Well, yes and no, because the Cybertruck on the jump got way more air. But because it's air ride, it detects that it's in the air and the suspension is totally up.
Crazy.
So
Cool.
I think to save itself, the suspension shoots out all its air, so when it lands, it is a super, super hard landing. But I think it's engineered that way to where if it lands and it still has air in the airbags,
Yeah.
pop. I mean, it would just
Well, I was
explode
surprised
immediately.
the airbags did not deploy, they did not go off.
I'm not talking about the passenger airbag. I'm
Okay.
talking about the airbags that are on
right,
the
right,
suspension.
right. Yeah.
So it has air ride to where you can raise and lower, and it's a very nice riding feeling
Yeah.
vehicle. The airbags deploying in the car, yeah, that was a miracle that it didn't go off.
Yeah.
But the suspension, rather than normal, coilovers or springs or whatever, it's an
Right.
airbag system.
When I was waiting for the control arms, didn't you say that they were tiny? I was waiting for those to just snap, which they didn't
That is
seem
one
to.
thing that surprised me. So yeah, in my video, I pointed out how much smaller the control arms are in, say, my F-150 Raptor, which were really beefy, or even my van, my Chevy Express 2500 van, had pretty good, I think it's 3500, sorry, had pretty beefy front control arms versus the Cybertruck, it wasn't. But
Yeah.
in those torture tests, the control arms did not fail.
Right.
What did fail, though, was unbelievable. And this is the biggest controversy of the video entirely. So he goes to hook up the stuck F-150, goes and gives it a good yank, a good pull to get it out, which is what you would do if you were off-roading to help somebody out. And the entire rear frame just rips from the car, and the trailer hitch rips the bumper and everything off, and it's just a horrible, disastrous
You've done that
fail.
a lot with your hoopty cars. Has anything close ever happened on one of your cars?
No, and like just recently with the Raptor, Jake was giving me a tug. I was going to say, but I
Don't
don't.
say it like
I know, but like he was tugging me off. He was pulling me. He was yanking it off
I'm so worried.
with the Porsche.
Should I be worried?
And the Porsche, we had the front bar tied to the frame of the Porsche.
Right.
And then there's a tow hook on the front of the F-150. Pulled it right out.
Right. Of course.
Some good umps, but we pulled it right out.
Yeah.
So with the Cybertruck, doing that same yank thing, it pulls it apart.
I just can't take you serious now.
But there's the big but, and this is the big controversy.
Yeah.
Because everybody's pointing out that on those culvers, on that whoop-de-whoop thing, when it came down, it banged on that trailer hitch really hard multiple times when it came off the tow truck, because you remember they launched it off the tow truck and it ruined the drive shaft on the F-150. That was $900 to fix. The Cybertruck was fine, but it banged really hard on that, the trailer hitch, and when it was coming off and, scraped or really hit.
Right.
And that, people are saying, is what tweaked the frame, probably cracked it, and the death blow was pulling it.
Right.
I disagree.
Okay.
They say that that is an extreme event, a very heavy truck, and it took the whole brunt of it and all that stuff. Well, on an off-road vehicle, you have a trailer hitch in the back, and it's sort of your skid plate. So I have nailed the trailer hitch on trucks off-roading so many times. They're big, and we just annihilated it.
Yeah.
And it's a steel hitch that is welded to a steel frame, and it saves the bumper and the truck bed from getting damaged. I mean, that's sort of why it exists, and it has saved my butt so many times. It has taken the full weight of the rear of the truck with the front wheels and clobbered it.
Right.
No damage.
So what do you think they need to obviously adjust this, fix this? Is there a fix for the Cybertruck?
No, because it is more like a crossover. Even though it is a heavy, enormous beast of a machine, it is built more like a crossover or an SUV with the bolted-on hitch than it is a real truck. And if you look at the frame, it's aluminum, and it just cracked when it shouldn't have.
But can a real truck take a hit of C4? No, it can't, but the Cybertruck can. Yes, sir.
That was very impressive. The steel panels are very thick.
Right.
In that sense, to where it is bullet resistant, it is impact resistant, it is explosion resistant, because it blew holes in the aluminum body of the F-150. But
great. Who thinks of that, first of all?
It's insane. But that aluminum F-150 door and tailgate that exploded with a big hole in it is what the structure of the Cybertruck is.
Yeah.
What broke on the Cybertruck.
Understood.
So it's like having a steel outer shell, but then the inside is brittle versus the F-150 has a steel frame that is tough, but the body is very fragile. So you're gaining one for the other when you're comparing the two vehicles.
Right. What was your favorite, most enjoyable part of the video, would you say?
I think my favorite part is it validated a lot of the concerns that I pointed out in my videos, like the vault, the cover. Quit working with him almost immediately because he's stress testing it. Just over time, those things will fail. It is really janky, that thing. And then just being able to peel off panels, which I could see that the stuff's just double-sided, taped and Velcroed on, and just to see him be able to go with 3 fingers, he said, and just rip off these stainless steel panels around, the roof and things. It was just like, I knew that, but there was no way that I could afford to just rip apart the car, nor would my audience like that at all. Because whenever I do anything remotely abusive with cars, my audience is really, really mad at me. Versus Whistlin Diesel, well, he feeds on that negative energy, and he doesn't care. But people love it. But then the people that yell make him even more happy, and they're angry about it.
Well, then he had 5 or 10 guys at the end just completely demolish it and try to destroy it.
Is that your favorite part when Jake Paul showed up?
No, actually, I was hoping to see at least one girl there. Okay, and it was just this sea of men destroying cars, like this love bonding fest, and yeah, guys, let's get together. We're so tough and I'm like, come on, that would be fun. And I just feel like you're alienating us, and I would have enjoyed that very much. Is that wrong? Is that wrong to say?
Well, you can go watch, I guess, Disney Plus or any Marvel movie where they have gone totally the opposite way when it comes to girl power and then just overwhelmed us with, the guys getting, subjugated to the girls that know everything and have all the powers.
I could use a weapon. Give me a weapon.
Okay.
And
you wanted to be
damage.
There to try and break the Cybertruck. So that's what you wanted. You envisioned yourself just annihilating the car.
Yeah, I think they could have done some more damage to it. I think they were being a little soft with it at first. And then, obviously he had his helmet on in there. But I think I could have done more damage.
Well, the fun part is Cody's not done yet. He had a lot more planned, but the Cybertruck bricked itself and didn't want to. So it'll be interesting to see if Tesla plays ball and gets that thing working again. Or they could
not this one.
They could. They could,
really?
Or they could look at it and say, this thing's been screwed. It's not safe for the road, and we ain't fixing it. And then that would be another epic thing where it's Cody versus Tesla, and he could go buy another Cybertruck and just keep going.
Yes.
Until they cry uncle, or I don't know. He won't run out of money because he can sell merch for $120 hoodies or whatever. He's doing fine. Right.
I'd like to see when they finally give the self-driving software updates. Is that something? Did you pay for that too? It's like $10,000 extra.
Well, there's a bunch of things, but yes, I paid for the full self-driving. Waited for months for it, never got it.
That would be a cool, interesting test to see how that handled for Whistlin Diesel.
I agree. Well, overall, we are fans, I suppose. So we can't wait for the next video. Thank you so much for watching.
Can we destroy a car?
No.
I want to.
No,
the Fiat.
No, my audience
if
hate
Wizard
it.
Can't get the Fiat going, can I destroy it?
No, my audience is not they want me to save cars that have been with the Titanic at the bottom of the sea for 120 years, and they get mad if I don't save that.
But I'll do it. They'll hate me even more.
There is the X6 in the back.
Do you know where it is? Actually how to
I'm going to have to find it, yeah. But I do need to dig that up and see if it starts. But I used to do that, and people liked it. There was a lot of negativity, but the most recent one that I did, even though it was the most screwed car that I've ever put in a hole and buried, my audience hated it.
Huh.
And I think it's just sort of attitude changes over the years as things have gotten harder with inflation and all that stuff. People are not able to buy and don't think they will ever be able to buy the car that they wanted. And the X6M is a pretty cool car, even though the car is only worth $15,000. It needs a $20,000 engine, and it's baked paint and really rough and accidents and all that stuff. People are angry to see something like that destroyed.
But they like the Chrysler Baron.
The Chrysler Baron, there was one person who was really mad that I didn't save the seats for him, and it was a very angry email. But otherwise, they didn't care.
Because that's a national treasure, that car.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching.